Musical Talk, the UK independent musical theatre podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello, welcome to the second episode of the week for Musical Talk, episode number 259. You're going to love this one, let's get on with it.
Don't know much about practicing what I preach. Don't know how to be envious without jealousy. Don't know how to hold my temper when I had to get in the last word. Don't know how to speak softly and still be heard. But before I lose everything and everyone who loves me, and the minuet between the heart and the breath is my lullaby. And the minuet between the heart and the breath's gonna rock me every time. And the minuet between the heart and the breath will save my life. As I lay up on your chest, baby, I'm satisfied.
Musical Talk.
Here on Musical Talk, we have had a couple of great guests on. Episode 2 comes to mind when I was joined by Stephen Schwartz. We've had Alan Menken on, we have had William David Brown on, we have had many, many legends, but I'm now sitting opposite arguably the biggest Broadway legend of my lifetime, Miss Idina Menzel. Hello.
Oh my goodness. I don't think I'm deserving of that introduction, but I'm flattered.
The rest of the world does agree with me.
Oh, thank you.
You're here in London to do a concert at arguably the most prestigious concert hall in the world.
Well, I was here a couple years ago and I did the concert version of Chess with Josh Groban. That was at Royal Albert Hall. So I remember it being just enormous and very daunting.
Now it's your stage, though.
Yes, which will make it even that much more enormous and daunting. And as a matter of fact, I got lost backstage trying to find my way to stage right and left Josh hanging for 2 bars on stage without me. So we'll try to rectify that this time around.
It's all the joys of a live performance, though. Things can go gloriously.
I was laughing when it was happening.
You're famous for doing one little tiny show, which you did here as well. You originated the role of Elphaba
Yes.
Thwop, originally in San Francisco, wasn't it?
Yes, that was our out of town.
And then all the way over to Broadway.
I was involved with Wicked about 3.5 years before it actually came to Broadway. You workshop it, then you workshop it again, and you rewrite things, and then yes, San Francisco was the first time we staged it.
For people of a slightly older generation than myself, you have the Phantom and you have the Les Mis. For me, this is now the show for my generation, and you are responsible for that now iconic moment. I mean, I know it must sound gushing when I say this, but because it's parodied now in musicals. In Shrek, it's parodied. It was even touched on in Spamalot for lighting cue and things. And how does that feel to sort of know?
Right, I remember that. It feels incredible. And what's wonderful about doing all these concerts that I've been doing is people always say, "Do you mind that you have to sing those songs over and over again, like Defying Gravity?" Songs like that. And I realized that 2 things. One, I love to sing songs over and over again because I like to discover new little nuances in the songs as a singer, as a vocalist, as an interpreter. But the other thing that's really wonderful about it is it's a constant reminder every weekend when I'm in a new city of just how beautiful this music is and how it's touched people's lives. And it's not just any job that I had. It's something that's become a phenomenon and has resonated with so many people and changed so many people and made such a difference. And so I'm just really grateful for that.
I did a Masters in Musical Theatre here and actually wrote an essay about Wicked. So,
so
it's now part of academia, that this musical is studied.
It's 5 years, and it's the 5-year anniversary this past week, which I missed by like 3 days.
So you created the role in the States, and then you came over and almost did it again in London.
Yeah, we had the same director. We had an incredible cast here in London. I don't know how it was. I'm not objective. I can't see myself. I know how it felt from the inside. It was much more enjoyable for me just because I had more experience with the role. I knew how to approach it. I knew how to pace myself 8 shows a week. It's always fun to take a little time off and then come back to it. I was able to do that with Rent as well. I got to be in the movie 10 years after the show, and it's interesting juggling that naivete and that sort of that first time feeling you have with a character and all the new discoveries, and yet coming to it with more of a veteran's experience, it gives you more confidence. And I feel like I had a better technique the second time around, and I found new things. And so, but you don't want to lose that fresh quality, those spontaneous moments.
I was actually there the Saturday afternoon you didn't fly. If you remember that. And that was amazing because it didn't matter, you know, if people didn't know that moment wasn't there.
I hate when I hear that.
It's still packed a punch.
Well, but packed a punch, but you know how it feels to me? I'm belted into this apparatus that's supposed to go up, and I'm singing about defying gravity, and I'm on the ground and I can't get out of the thing because it's all a whole safety belt. So I have to sing and try to let myself out at the same time. There's a little lock that I have to do in the dark where I can't see, and then let myself out so I can go downstage and just sing the song. Otherwise I'm stuck in the back in the dark in the smoke and you can't see any witch whatsoever.
There are so many rumours of a Wicked movie.
Yeah.
It obviously is the next step to take. I don't think I can't see it happening whilst it's such a success all over the world. If someone were to say to you tomorrow, do you want to do Wicked, would you drop everything, or would you let it go to Lea Michele or someone? Or
if someone offered it to me, I would never let it go to anybody. I'd dig my claws into it. But I don't have, my hopes are not that high, just because the longer they wait, they tell us that Kristen and I that we're going to be too old, or that we already are too old. So I think we're you know, it'd be nice. I think there are ways they could do it. I keep telling the producers they could do it like Avatar, and they could just, you know, I could be this gorgeous green face, ageless. That's the essence of me and my voice and my movements, and it'd be beautiful. Yeah, I kind of don't hold my breath on that one.
Tell us about A Broader Way.
Oh, thank you for asking me about that. When I was young, I went to summer camp, which in where I grew up, you know, you go away for about 8 weeks. You go up into the country and you live with these other kids, and you play sports and you sing and you dance and you meet boys, and you have the summers of your life. It's where I felt that I most belonged, more than in my school year. I loved to go to camp, and the friends that I made there and the things that I learned about myself was so significant that I always wanted to have my own camp. But then as I've gotten older, I realized how privileged I was to have an experience like that, and I wanted to try to develop something where girls could go into the situation that maybe didn't have the opportunity or wouldn't otherwise have the opportunity. So we took about 30 girls from the inner city, and they came up to camp, and we brought Janine Tesori, who's an incredible composer, and some other friends of mine, and we sat with them for 10 days. They played volleyball and tennis and swam and had bunk raids, but they put together, we helped them put together a concert that was based on all of their own lyrics and poems and ideas. They were sort of the authors of this concert. And so on the 11th day, we traveled back from the Berkshires, where it was, which is in the mountains in Vermont. And we came back together as a group, and we performed at Columbia University in their theater that they donated to us, and put on this sort of recital that we did for their friends and family and our friends and family. And it was the most rewarding thing I've ever done. First of all, just to put it in the calendar and say, a year from now, we're going to have 30 girls up here. Somehow it's going to work. We're going to get the money, and it's going to happen. And then to actually do it was just...
And I'm sure for the girls to meet you as well.
Yeah, I don't even know if they, I don't even know if they knew who I was, honestly. I mean, some people told them I was from Glee. They knew that. It wasn't really... about that. Although I fell in love with all of them. Yeah, it was really about them, and the name, A Broader Way. You know, at first it sounds kind of obvious. You know, the connection to me, but what became more apparent was this sort of reciprocal nature of it all. That we are offering them an opportunity, but they are teaching us so much more than we are possibly giving them, and we're learning so much more about the world and their background and just what young women, I didn't say their age, they're 11 years old, what they're going through, and it was just, it's a gift. Everybody's receiving something.
Is there going to be another one, do you hope?
Yes, well, I don't even know if we have the money, but I promise the girls will be there next summer, and they can all come back if they want, and then we'll probably bring maybe about 10 more girls, new girls, and then the girls that were there can mentor them, sort of start to have some leadership aspects to their experience, and we're putting all that together and figuring out what it looks
Couldn't have this interview without mentioning that word. It's again, it's another cultural phenomenon, isn't it? Do you think if it wasn't for Wicked, would there have been a Glee?
Maybe. Yeah, I'm not quite sure the whole climate of things and why, after years of watching many possible TV pilots with music in them crash and burn, why this one is right at the right time. And
I think it's because it's kind of adult. The music is phenomenally done.
Right.
What people may think of the auto-tuning and all that stuff,
Right.
It's all relative, but it's still very well produced.
Right.
And it's funny.
It's funny, of course. It's incredibly written and smart. The music is music that people are familiar with, so that they want to hear again. It's funny, there's a common theme in the projects that I've been a part of, and I'm not quite sure if that's just by happenstance or what, but, you know, between Rent and Wicked and Glee is sort of all of these young people that are struggling to find who they are and their place in the world, and are different and
But that's
unique.
been the theme of musical theatre ever since day one, hasn't it? It's the American dream, it's finding yourself, it's breaking out of adversity.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, look at Hunchback of Notre Dame and all the
True.
Disney things, you know, so... but I think these new shows are certainly new waves within that storytelling ploy.
Yeah.
Discussed.
It's I just think that young people see themselves in these characters, and they feel that they're given a voice, whether it's Elphaba or it's the kids in Glee, and it also just celebrates them, makes them cool, you know, and the subject matter and the acknowledgement of the different kids and the sexual orientation and all of these incredibly significant milestones and themes that as society we are working out. It's great to see it right there in front of us.
Another show famous for people finding themselves and expressing themselves, a real groundbreaking show, was Chorus Line. In 1984. Now, you have quite a special conductor for your concert tomorrow at the Royal Albert Hall, don't you?
Yes. I've been touring with Marvin Hamlish. We've done several concerts all over the States with different symphonies. I've fallen in love with him, actually. And
Heard it here first.
yes, my husband knows. I'm just, you know, when I'm on stage, he's legendary. I know everyone that he's worked with, and I feel just so honored that he's taking the time to be there with me, especially here. He's come all the way to London because he knows, well, he wants to be here and he loves London, but also just the idea that this is an important show for me, and I feel better when he's on stage with me, and I think he wanted to just share in this moment at the Royal Albert Hall.
Well, you're performing tomorrow at the Royal Albert Hall at 7:30, and we wish you so much luck with the concert. I think you're going to blow people away as always. Thank you. I'm really excited about it. I don't take it lightly that in this day and age where it's not easy to buy tickets, and we're all struggling out there, and to come to another country and have people actually know who you are. And people travelling from the continent have come to see your show. So well, they do that in Europe, right? They hop on the train and they're from. No, it's really it's very exciting to me, and if I think about it in that way, I could burst into tears. So between the jet lag and the emotion, I hope everyone enjoys it. I hope that that they feel like they leave not just hearing some great music, but that they really get to know something about me, and they feel that I've shared myself with them, because that's the kind of concert that I like to go to, is when I leave and I feel like that person made themselves vulnerable to me in some way, and I learned something about who they are. Idina Menzel, thank you very much for talking to us today. Thank you. Thanks for having me. The lovely Idina Menzel there. Thank you very, very much to Idina for chatting to us. Sorry it's a bit of a short one, but, it's an Idina Menzel interview. What can you do? We hope you enjoyed it. Please do check out her concert, or her concerts, if they're coming to a city near you. We're very looking forward to seeing them in London with the wonderful Marvin Hamlish. Please go to www.musicaltalk.co.uk for more information about this and every single episode we've done. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/musicaltalk or Facebook at facebook.com/musicaltalk. No episode next week, but we'll be back in full force with some brilliant episodes for you the week after next. Thank you very much for listening, and have a lovely week. Bye-bye. This episode of Musical Talk, copyright 2011, except with the songs where the copyright persists with the original creators. So,